Seems legit.
G'day Legitimates, welcome back to my channel. I made myself this fabulous spice rack. So you can get the kit from Bunnings, it was like 20 something dollars. And so the first thing I'm going to do is use a wood burner to decorate the wood essentially. So I like the wood burnt look better. This is about $30 from any hardware store. You just turn it on, click it, and it instantly turns on. I like this one better than the last one I used, which was my husband's, just because it's lighter and therefore easier to maneuver. So you can see I'm just going back and forth. You can go up and down or across. This is one of the few times it doesn't matter. And then let it cool down a little bit because it gets hot. Now I will be lasering bits in sections. So the first thing I'm going to do here is line it up with the bottom edge of the screw holes and then the top edge as well. So I actually go all the way around, and then I realized I didn't need to do that. I could have just done the opposite corners. But yeah, you want to go inside the holes and then all the way to the edge to make sure you get it right in the center. I was doing some Googling, and the design I found online says this is the Viking rune for good health. And I thought that was relevant, so we've popped that on. I will put the speed settings in the description, but I did 50% power, 100 millimeters per second for this, and obviously in this video I have sped it up. This design here is actually the same design on repeat, and I just spaced it out in the rest of the space. Now the reason I didn't do them one at a time is because technically the wood does fit, but the engravable space I couldn't have done all the way to the top to the bottom, which is why I did it in the two sections. So I repeated this with both sides, and then we're going to put some stain or varnish on. So this is stain and varnish all in one, and I just painted on quite thickly because I like the dark look. Now you can keep putting layers and layers on to make it darker and darker as you see fit. I'm just going to put one layer on in this video. So I actually paint 3 of the sides, which is why they're all sat up on one end. And then I'll come back later, flip them all over and paint that small edge. I'm using a paintbrush, but you can also use a cloth or one of those like foam spongy things, whatever works for you. You can see I am just whacking it on there. It's because of the burnt look that I've done, I actually find it much easier to stain doing that. I did get a little bit on my fingers, but as it dries, it also just kind of cakes off, which is even better. I think that's the varnish in it. If it was just stain, it would stain my hands. But with the varnish, it discolors your hands and then peels off a little bit like henna, but without leaving the color behind. So yep, we want to make sure you get all of it evenly. Try and make sure it's not dripping anywhere as well. You don't want drips. And you can see how we've wood burnt, and it really brings the grain out better. I just really love that look. Personal preference and all that jazz. So once this is dry, you can add more coats. I didn't build it on camera, but this is the finished look, and there's my dog. So there you go.